list of questions which they slipped to you so you would be able to answer them. Not that you wouldn't have been able to answer them anyway. But the first of the questions that's put to you is, how are you rooted in your communities? What kind of volunteer activities and organizations have you been involved in? To what professional organizations and or specialty bars do you belong? And let me just extend from that a little as each of you answer this to suggest also that tell us a little bit about how your engagement with these groups might in some way influence how you look at serving on the court. Let's start with Ed Fallone.
I do believe it's appropriate to talk about my community activities and the role I've played in the broader legal and just Milwaukee community, because I think my activities reflect my values. And I think you can learn a little bit about where I stand and where I come from. I've been very involved on the issue of access to justice for working families for over 20 years. I was the president of an organization in Milwaukee called Centro Legal, which provides bilingual, affordable legal representation to working families. You might call them the working poor, families that are not so poor that they qualify for free legal aid, but they certainly couldn't afford the private bar if they got in a car accident and got sued by the other driver, or if they had unpaid hospital bills and got sued by the hospital. And so their choice is to go it alone, or perhaps go try and pay the best they can for legal help. Centro Legal provides affordable legal services on a sliding fee scale to those families. I was also very involved in bringing within Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Milwaukee, where I was a Board of Trustees member for 3 years, bringing in there an immigrant legal services provider that provides legal services to immigrants who have a legal right to be in this country, but because they couldn't afford a lawyer, were in danger of being deported. For 3 years, I was president of an organization called the Latino Community Center, which was located in the south side of Milwaukee, served high-risk kids, kept them out of gangs, kept them off the street with tutoring, computer lab help, anti-gang intervention. And finally, my wife Heidi and I are the founders of a nonprofit called Wisconsin Stem Cell Now, that for the last 7 years has advocated on behalf of stem cell research and provided information to the public on the science and ethics of stem cell research. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Let me follow up for 1 second with that. You have a good Italian last name, but you are also Hispanic. Or tell us. And the main place I'm leading is not to go through your ethnic history, but do you speak Spanish?
Sí, por supuesto, hablo español. Mi madre es mexicana. Mi padre es italiano.
Not a bad attribute, though, if you're running for the court at a time when we have a burgeoning Hispanic population. Vince Megna, same question. Can we sneak the mic around backwards here? Or I'm going to make it easier for you. Bring it right up the middle. And Vince, you know the question, your community involvements?
Well, you're asking about volunteer, and Ed has a phenomenal history of volunteers. I volunteered in a band, the Judges Band. And it includes Judge Netteshine, Judge Maudsley, and Judge Mike Skorowski. And the key part of this, which goes to one of your questions, is for 12 years, I have played at the judicial conference for the judges, all the judges, including the Supreme Court judges. So I've got to know the judges at a different level. I've got to know them at night after they have had sometimes many drinks. And they are a different group. They are a different group. And actually, that's the kind of group I think we should see on the Supreme Court. Not completely a drunk group, but a friendly group.
They're loosened up.
Yeah, loosened up, friendly to one another, to people, not as bitter as they are. I've also volunteered for a group called Guitars for Vets. That's an excellent group, and I've helped out there. I've played with them, I've taught, and we've worked on veterans who come back from the service, and we give them guitars and we teach them music, and they seem to really like that. a few years back, I was a grade school basketball coach and a soccer assistant coach for youth soccer. I'm a member of the NACA, which is the National Association of Consumer Advocates. It's the largest organization in the United States, and they have some of the best attorneys in the United States, and I work with them and I speak at their functions, and I also am a presenter for the Wisconsin State Bar on consumer matters. Thank you.
Thank you.